Super Mario Bros. Wonder has a new mechanic called the Wonder Flower, which actually gives us wonder events which messes up how the stage works. It either changes the characters themselves and transforms them into new things, or it transforms the world around the characters, making wacky things happen and really adding some in-depth situations to every single level in every single world. So today we are going to dive into every single wonder event that was shown off from Mario Wonder. This includes everything within the reveal trailer, everything within the Nintendo Direct focus for this game, and even some of the live gameplay now that people are posting from Seattle, where Nintendo's having their live event. So we are going to be talking about every single Wonder event, things that you've seen, things that you didn't see, just putting together a big list of everyone we've seen so far. But before we get started, guys, we are just under 2,000 subs away from reaching our goal of 250,000 subscribers. I have already begun getting started on a special video for you guys, so if you really want to see that and really want to help support the channel, just click that like button, click that subscribe button. We are so close. Thank you so much for your support. Let's jump into the video. First, we start off with the reveal trailer. The reveal trailer showed us the very first Wonder Flower event, which showed the pipes and everything moving like crazy. And this Wonder event, everything just moves up and down. The pipes come alive. You can see eyes on them all the way in the rocks in the background, and you can even see the pipes kind of move like worms across the stage and wiggle around. Now, I do believe this is the very first stage of the game, and yes, it's nothing crazy. You know, it kind of just shows you how wacky the levels can get, and yeah, it's just kind of pipes moving around. Next one we see is hoppos bouncing around, and we can see that some of them are gigantic and you can bounce really far off of them, and there's just a lot more on the screen. You can even see a stampede of them rolling around in the background, but this Wonder event seems to be more of just a screen full of enemies. Next one, we have a forest where it looks like it's a silhouette level, and this Wonder event is causing everybody to get really tall and skinny. Now, it seems like Mario's able to control this, as when he ducks, everything shrinks down, and when he stands up, everything grows, including the trees in the background. Now, the enemies stay all tall and skinny like this Goomba, as it doesn't change, but I do wonder how this is going to be incorporated into the final gameplay. Next one we have is Mario turning into a spiked ball as he's rolling down this area and knocking down blocks and pillars, and it actually sounds like bowling pins as he's knocking them down and rolling over enemies. It seems to be kind of just a side scroller where you're just rolling and dodging things and jumping over ramps, which seems to be really cool, and I actually hope they incorporate something like this into a boss battle. Next up, we know this level is called the Bull Rush Stampede, as we saw it within the Direct, but yeah, it's just a bunch of Bull Rush enemies charging, and you can see it bust through the flag and continue to move on. Thanks to GameXplain for some recent gameplay, we get to see that it actually takes you to a second flagpole, jumping off of a big ramp, and you get to slide down this like massive flagpole, which is hilarious. In this scene, the actual stage tilts and drops this giant spiked ball in order to chase after everybody running down the hill. Now, yeah, this was a weird Wonder Flower event because to me, in my head, I'm just thinking, okay, it's just making a giant ball chase after everybody. It's not really a weird event. Unless there's more things happening with the stage thanks to its tilt now, it's not really explained though. Here's another event where all the characters are falling from the sky. Yep, this is a Wonder event, you can tell by the corners of the screen, and obviously that timer helps a lot, but yeah, you're just in free fall, falling all the way down, dodging enemies, and busting through clouds in order to collect coins, so yeah, just a free fall level, which is pretty cool though. The Bowser Jr. boss fight is also a Wonder event, and it's the only boss fight that we've seen so far, but in this Wonder event, it seems like both Bowser Jr. and Mario take turns becoming very small and also becoming very big. And when you're very small, it looks like you have the mini mushroom effect, as you have a higher jump and more of a zero gravity effect to your character, which is pretty cool. The next Wonder event seems to have a giant snow hill or snowball that's actually constantly rolling, blasting through the stage, destroying enemies and the terrain itself, where you have to keep staying on the top. Now, this seems to have turned the stage into somewhat of a side-scroller level. The last one we have from the reveal trailer seems to be a barrage of brand new bullet bills. Missile Mikes, anybody? But yeah, they seem to be falling from the sky in multiple groups. It's also got a really cool rainbow contrail smoking out the back. But yeah, it just seems to be tons of bullet bills rushing towards the enemies as you're going throughout this stage, which is pretty cool as well. And it even seems like the Yoshis can walk on some of them, as when they step on them, they start crashing down towards the ground, which is pretty cool cool too. Alright, now we jump into the Nintendo Direct. And yes, we have to include this one, Bowser's Wonder event of him transforming into a castle as Clown Car and Prince Florian's castle all merge into one giant mech. And yep, that's Bowser's new design. This Wonder event has the birds that shoot out the drill platforms actually shooting out rainbow colored bubbles that has Mario bouncing all the way up a vertical style level, which is really cool. There's tons of bubbles and they actually pop when Mario pops on them, so I wonder if he's able to like pop a whole bunch and drop all the way down. Next up, we have a scene where Luigi is actually running on the back wall. Yeah, that's pretty trippy. You actually switch terrain, and he needs the Condor to actually bust through the bricks for him to walk through because he can't really interact with the bricks because he's on the back wall. I love this, and this is going to absolutely change the whole dynamic of this level, and I can't wait to try this one out. It's probably my favorite so far. Next, there's a Wonder event where you're actually floating in space, and there's hoppos to bounce you into spikes as well. You have to be very careful and kind of float your way to the destination, which is definitely a wacky Wonder event. As you can even tell with the background, yep, this is space and it's not just floating through a normal level, so how did we get here? That's the question. Next up, we have Goomba Mario coming back from Mario Odyssey. You can't really run that fast, but he's trying to run away from these enemies that are trying to eat him. And yes, he can even walk on the spikes down below. That's the Goomba's perk, I guess, being able to walk on spiky objects. And he has to do this in order to get the 10 flower coin. Then we have one where Mario actually gets the P-Bloom power-up once again, coming all the way back from Super Mario World, where he's actually able to flap his little arms left and right in order to spin around and go in different directions. He's actually just a big balloon that's just slowly wobbling around in the sky or space, wherever he is up there, which is pretty cool. We then have one where Mario's jumping on a giant green balloon fish that bounces him really high, and also it's full of confetti, which makes me think eventually it's going to pop at the end of the level and drop confetti everywhere, which is crazy, but it looks like you have to keep bouncing on him all the way throughout a horizontal stage, dodging enemies and collecting coins while you jump. In this event, I don't really know what's going on. Yoshi's jumping on these rainbow colored blocks and trying to beat the timer, and he actually ends up falling as he just wasn't fast enough, it seems like, and there's music notes all in the background, which might be some type of musically themed level, or maybe it's just about getting to the end as each section of blocks disappears as the music goes or something. I don't know, or it could be like the beat blocks from Mario 3D World, it's hard to say, but it looks like Yoshi just has to go extremely fast in order to reach the end here. In this Wonder event, you have the Starman item raining from the sky, so you can get the superstar version of your character and blast to the stage, knocking out enemies and busting through blocks. But yep, that's pretty much it, just invincibility blasting through the rest of the stage, which this is an earlier stage of the game. It looks like it's still in that same, beginner area, so yep, this definitely is just going to be something a lot more basic compared to something we see later on. With the game explain footage, we can see a giant conch that is trying to smash you and your crew dropping down from the top of the screen, and you have to hurry up and scramble and make your way to the bottom. It comes out of absolutely nowhere, and it looks absolutely terrifying as you're trying to make a path all the way to the bottom without getting crushed, which is going to be a very hectic one for what seems to be the beginning of the game still, so that is pretty cool. Now, we still are not finished, because on the Japanese website they actually show some more transformations, and turning into a Goomba is not the only thing that all the characters can do. It seems as if we'll be turning into multiple different enemies in this game as well, as we can see the Hoppy Cat enemy that Mario's actually turned into, even has his emblem and his colors and his little eyes underneath, which is funny, which I don't know exactly how that's going to work, because all they do is do whatever you do. So is Mario going to copy another character or something? What's going on with that? Not 100% sure, or maybe you just jump up and down in some segment, I don't know. But then you also have Mario that's turned into a Wumba enemy, and the Wumbas are these green little gooey creatures that go throughout the gelatin, so I wonder if this is just going to allow you to swim through the jello for one level, or kind of do something with the jello. I don't know, it's hard to tell. They're just some renders of what Mario looks like as these transformations. Now that is in fact every single transformation and Wonder event that we have seen so far. Now I'm really hoping I'm not missing any. Maybe there's some external gameplay out there that I'm just not seeing, but it seems to be every single Wonder event, which is pretty cool. Now of course there's going to be so many more in this game. It seems like there's maybe even one or two or maybe even three in every single level, as some of the people that's actually played the demo has stated that there was a couple in a level, which is really crazy. And when considering it looks like there's a lot of levels in each world, this is going to be a wacky, wonderful game. But let me know in the comments down below, what what wonder events would you like to see? What enemies would you like to turn into? Because I do want to make a separate video talking about different enemies that we can turn into, as it looks like that's going to be one of the main wonder events, as there's like 3 transformations we've seen already as Mario as an enemy. What enemy would you like to turn into that kind of has that Mario Odyssey vibe? And let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe before you head out, and like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See you guys.